Good morning, Tuesday morning, Garden of England. It could be drier this morning, that's for certain, and it could be calmer. But anyway, so here's a kind of mini lesson for today. One of the realities of our goal setting approach is that the goals that we set, if we follow the process properly, I mean, you will have some left brain goals, the realistic, achievable type, and that's perfectly okay. But ultimately, the big goals that comes out of our process will make into the flow of consciousness, doing the 30 goal thing in the 11 minutes. The goals that we choose out of that last phase, the ones that we don't know how we're going to achieve them, but they absolutely press our buttons, we get a lot of desire for their outcomes, they really excite us, then they force us out of our comfort zone if we're going to go after them, which inevitably means that you're going to have to take risks on the way to achieving the goals. So you find yourself experiencing anxiety. And anxiety is a real emotion, it's a real thing. It can be obviously destructive for lots of people who can't overcome it. Fear of speaking up, even the fear of applying for the job just in case they get an interview, going for the interview, asking the bank for a loan because you want to start that business or whatever it may be. And so remember, we've got the tools and techniques, and if you were on some of the courses, I introduced you to thought field therapy, TFT for short. I taught you the algorithm for managing emotions, and then of course if you take away the emotional challenge that you have, then you use our tools and techniques, get across the river, get into your right brain, pre-program meetings and events, pre-program the phone call and so on. Well, as you know, you gain confidence, you overcome the fear and anxiety, and you find the resource within you to show up being the best version of yourself, finding somehow or other magically, because it isn't magic, that you say the right thing at exactly the right moment and you tend to win through. And of course, if that interview or that application for a loan or you're going to see the bank manager, any of these things, you fail the exam or something like that, then our approach is there must be a good reason. And having that attitude and looking for the next possible sign or coincidence to take you forward is where the magic lies. But inevitably, if you set realistic, achievable goals, it's unlikely you're going to really experience degrees of anxiety. But if you get out your comfort zone to go after the big stuff, then inevitably you're going to have to overcome the fear and anxiety. And again, those of you who have done sort of more advanced stuff with me, let me remind you of, for example, when if you had the privilege of seeing Jim recently, whether it was the Glasgow courses or on that web-based or internet-based program I did last year, culminating in that wonderful workshop 3, you got a chance to see Jim. And one of the things I heard Jim say to his key people was that, who were going through programs with me, was that the two powerful tools he had was consulting with the coaches, and also for him middle of the night programming, pre-programming critical meetings and events, which is a huge part of his career obviously. Without doubt, Jim is one of the best CEOs out there on the planet. He's an extraordinary leader, brilliant guy, got a real lot of time for him, and if he can say that to you, humble himself to say that in front of his people, then you can humble yourself to do it, because it only works. Now, so moving on, yesterday I went down, spent the day with Ed. We watched the videos that he uncovered, quite amazing really. One of them is a 2-day course that I did with an audience, and you see the audience, it's filmed with 2 cameras in a hotel in London, I remember it now, and it was a Mindset for Business program. The quality of the sound and much of the video is very good. Some of the content's excellent, and so I was quite excited about that, because we can certainly use it if we're going to do this House of the Red Roof legacy thing. But the challenge is that because it was a business course and it was post that final Mindset for Life course I did in the Royal Concert Hall, I know many of you were there, the big one in the big auditorium, that last one, I didn't use the House of the Red Roof in that particular business course. So that was just a little bit disappointing. Another great one that we were able to watch was, we also have 2 professionally filmed days of a weekend I did in one of the theatres in London, the Drill Hall Theatre. Some of you may remember I did the Saturday and Sunday We had Dr. Roger Callahan, God bless him, God rest his soul, him on the stage doing his thing. We've got that, and I think going forward, if I can get permission from his wife, I'd like to release that for you. I think those 2 days are amazing, but that's down the line. So between what I was doing on that Saturday and between what's available in the 2-day business course, got really good live video stuff that we can introduce into a program, the legacy program for House of the Red Roof. But inevitably I'm going to have to go into the studio as well to do some of it, to maybe link it to what we're doing now, I suppose, in terms of the sort of recent developments that are important to remember. But the challenge is the fact that that's going to be mixing, if you write 3 or 4 different sources. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of editing, it's a lot of listening through things, deciding what you're going to do and so on. So I could do with your help again, I really could. I'd like to know if you did recommend or gave the course, you paid for the course for a family member, a younger person. Remember, I created that introductory course for others, not for us or you. It would be good to hear what they thought of it. Please give me feedback. If you don't want to give me feedback on here publicly, then DM me if you're in Facebook and you're accessing this via Facebook onto YouTube. Come back and comment, or if you want, or send me a DM so I can understand your feedback. It'd be great, especially if they could somehow or other relate to me, the old guy in a studio. It'd be important to understand that. And also if you got it for yourself, which is fine, of course, many of you did and you're fed back, you enjoyed it. But it'd be good to know if you think that particular approach would be useful along with the live stuff. So think of seeing me live in action in front of an audience, interacting with the audience. It's really good stuff. You see the audience get involved in the process. And then the audio, playing some of the audio stuff from the Royal Concert, the final course. Some of that content is excellent, maybe with a kind of some stock videos playing at the same time as you're hearing it. Me in a studio, that particular same studio, the same scene that introductory course was recorded with, getting your feedback and saying that you would be interested in that type of a mix of media that would be part of the new course, or to provide that legacy course. And then of course, if that's successful, we'll do the island, we'll do all the other courses. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you Ramora. I could do your help with the feedback. If you feel that you could do that, I'd be most grateful. Cheers now. Bye bye. See you Ramora.